Hey, we are back.
Ooh.
Welcome to the Off the Top podcast. I'm Aaron Flick from Wahl Professional, and I'm here with my co-host, Bird Mena.
That's right. I'm here, and I have some surprises today. First and foremost, if you're watching us on YouTube, thank you for joining again. And if you are watching or hearing us on any of the other platforms, we appreciate your love, support, and thank you. Today we have some amazing surprises. I actually put something in the box today for my good friend, Aaron.
I love it. Before we start, I need people to comment. Bird, I think you look like a 90s heartthrob today.
Oh.
You've got like, it's kind of like the jean jacket shirt. You should have done conch shells instead of like pearls, but you also have the hair parted down the middle. It's got a little like Sean Hunter vibes. It's like Sean Hunter in 2022.
Oh.
I love it. So I have some nostalgia feels with your outfit.
You like it?
You've always got good drip on the show. So.
Thank you. I actually didn't put no glasses on today. I always have some sort of glasses.
So you can't see.
I can't see anything. I have them here on the corner, but I don't want to wear them right now.
Just in case. All right,
Yeah.
so let's see what's in this box. I'm excited.
You open it up. If you're listening right now, guys, he's about to open up the box. I put something very special in there that I've been working on for a long time.
Whoa.
That's right. Big
Boom.
box.
The Rise of Hair, Chapter 4. I know about The Rise of Hair, but this is what, October 8th and 9th. I'm seeing this full list of artists on the backside here. But, dude, tell me about The Rise of Hair.
So, yes, we're back. Rise of Hair. I started the Rise of Hair with my business partner, Matt. Shout out to Matt Riccio from Connecticut. And this is, I believe this is the fourth. This is the fourth Rise of Hair. I had to check myself. I'm like, wait, yeah, it is the fourth. It's called Chapter 4, right? So I am excited to bring you guys Chapter 4. The first one was held in Connecticut. The second one was held in Connecticut. The third was held in cyberspace. It was during the COVID, and it was filmed and recorded and live streamed from a studio in Chicago. And the fourth one will be held in St. Petersburg, Florida. And it will take place October 8th and 9th in St. Petersburg. And I have an amazing lineup of artists and educators.
Yeah, this list that's on the back here is incredible. So I'm going to butcher some of these names, but I'll let you talk about some of them. But I'm just going to go down the list. So we got Say Elias, who's coming to the States.
Yep.
Eagle Barbers, our good friend and educator, Zach Ramsey. Hilbori Barber, who you've seen on the Off the Top podcast. SBB, who you've also seen on the Off the Top podcast. Kimberly Tay-Hare, who's a Wahl ambassador.
Yep.
All right, this one I'm going to butch. Fran Aranda.
Yeah, that was good. Fran Aranda.
Ismael Del Mora.
Yeah.
Alejandro.
Yep.
Our other good friend, Taylor Fade, a.k.a. Trevor Moots from our education team. Berg. CJ the Barber, who's an ambassador of ours. Cam Bahar, who's an ambassador of ours. Another good friend, Titan Barber, John Carmona from our team. And then Poppy Blends, plus more.
Plus more, yes. We have a few surprises. We're finalizing some deals with a few other educators, and I'm excited about it. I'm super excited. So this year, what we're doing on Chapter 4 is it's a 2-day event. The first day will consist of a networking, meet and greet atmosphere, and with a few other surprises that we're closing in on. The second day is the full day of education and show. So you will start very early, around 8 a.m. with all of the educators presenting. There's 3 different tickets. There's diamond, there's gold, and there's just a general admission. So depending on which package you get, the experience can change just a bit. After all the education is over is when the fun begins for at least for me. You know, I am creating a whole show, like a fashion show. The lights, everything, the whole atmosphere will be completely different. And it will be a whole show where these educators will stop educating, and now they will be presenting collections in person at the show. So we have 2 warehouses, and from one warehouse, the models will walk and then go into the other warehouse where all of the other people are at, and then come around. It's going to be very nice because we have artists from Brazil like Seu Elias. We have Fran Aranda, Ismael de Mora from Spain. We have people coming from Chile. We have a few other artists from England as well. And they're all going to be bringing top of the line education, but also a good show.
This is sick. So this is not only a barber education event, but it's also like,
well,
high fashion.
Let me stop you right there. It's
Yeah.
not just barbering.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I see some like, Kimberly Tate Hair is like one of the best up and coming.
Yes.
I shouldn't even say up and coming, but cosmetologists and stylists like this. The talent here is out of this world. But not only is this hair cutting education event,
Yes.
but there's fashion. Like this is a next level
Everything.
hair show. This isn't your mom and pop's normal hair show. This is a different beast, a different animal. This is going to be a sick event. Can you tell us what the theme is, or is this a surprise for when you arrive?
Yes. I don't want to tell you guys right now because it is a surprise. But as you will start to see all the promotion, you will kind of get a hint of what it could be. Even when you look at the flyer, you can see certain little things like the Rise of Hair logo was changed. You'll see that there's plants involved. Maybe there's something going on in there, but it is going to be a whole experience. My main thing is I've traveled across the world to many countries and done a lot of shows, and they're all great in their own way. But I want to create a show that's limited to the amount of people that come in. So this is a limited show. There's only about 400 people coming or so. We're trying to cap it off, and those people will have an experience of their lifetime, and then my goal at the end of it is to have a show that sells out in a day, and people are like, dang, I missed out, to give them that.
This is an exclusive event, and it's not even an event, it's an experience. I feel like this is like your opportunity to go into the mind of Bird Mena.
Yeah.
Which is...
Well, because I look up, I think I look up to a lot of like outside of our world. I look up to like someone like Virgil, R.I.P., Alexander McQueen, and Mason Margiela, which is all fashion designers. But I think hair is always involved in all those fashion shows, and they do a lot of creative stuff with their shows. But I want to bring that creativity to our side, and still not forget the education.
I love it. Yeah, that's kind of that crossover from the fashion world now into the barber industry. So get your tickets, riseofhair.com, or maybe it's sold out by now. Get your tickets, though. Support our friend Bird Mena here. We're looking to get involved as the Wahl brand. Obviously, we have a lot of our team members involved, and of course you. But it's going to be an awesome event. St. Petersburg, Florida, October 8th and 9th. I love it.
Yeah. Don't miss out, guys. riseofhair.com. There's 3 different tickets you can get. And, I'm still talking to Wahl to see if they'll release something on that date. Oh. You never know. It is posible. Well, with that being said, I think we should just hop on to our guest today. I hope he can come to my show as well because I would love to have him there. Should we do it?
Yeah, let's do it. So our guest today is my good friend, my colleague, our national sales manager, Andrew Papoccia.
Let's go!
What's up, guys? What's up? Thanks for having me here. I mean, I've obviously been following the podcast from afar, but man, this is like I finally arrived. Right, I got the invite to off the top. So thank you for having me here. Love the energy that you guys bring to this podcast, and hopefully can contribute to this today.
This is as good as it gets. You've peaked now.
Yeah, this is it, man. Like this is raised the bar for me. Yeah.
This is the top of the top.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, usually Aaron says, "What happens after this?" No, this is the top, right?
Where do you go from here? Huh? Where do you go?
I don't know, but yeah, we're stoked to have you on board, and for our listeners, this is an opportunity for us to kind of peel back a few of the layers behind Wahl Clipper and a little bit of how we function and get to know a little bit more about some of our team members that aren't necessarily on the haircutting side, but are just behind, a lot of decisions being made and a lot of efforts to keep the industry going between distributors and customers, all that stuff. So we're peeling back some layers here, and I sit 20 feet away from Andrew, so I get to see him a lot, but he's an awesome person to work with, and I look forward to asking the hard-hitting questions.
Ooh, yes, me too, because I don't know much about that. I'm just a barber, but not just a barber. A barber is well respected now. It's crazy how much respect we get nowadays.
Man, just to start off, Bird, we spent some time together.
Yes.
We've known each other now for a couple years, and we've worked together for a couple shows, and this last show we worked at, the Connecticut Barber Expo. So I always call you Uccellino, right? Little bird. Little bird in Italian.
Yeah.
And now I have to call you Uccellone. That means big bird. Uccellone. You're little in stature, but in status, you are huge, man. And just to see what you bring to this industry, the energy you bring. I walked with you for just a few minutes through the show, and I was exhausted just stopping and watching you do what you do, giving back to everyone that wanted to take a picture, talk to you, just engage with you, and that is awesome. And so for that, I have the utmost respect for what you do, and glad you are definitely a part of our team.
Thank you. That means a lot, man. Yeah. Thank you. It was pretty cool, Aaron. We missed you there, by the way.
I know. I was at Disney World as a kid.
So yeah,
I love it.
You
were at Barber Disney World. I was at Disney World.
Both of you guys are so easy to find at shows. So Aaron's always just a head taller than everybody. So there he is. And then I'm just looking for some type of wild colored hair. There's Bird over there.
Or some cool boots. You remember those boots?
Yeah.
We can't know about the boots because you went there.
We're can't miss at the shows, aren't we?
Yeah, we're definitely. But yeah, it was honestly really cool to just be able to always, it's always great to just be with the Wahl family. But it was cool being able to connect with Andrew. Andrew connected me with a few brands. We actually met a few people. I actually connected with an older gentleman. He was probably one of the oldest barbers in there. I think his name was Gil, if I'm correct. And he was with a company that does aprons, and they do
barber smocks. Yeah.
And it was pretty cool, it's exciting to see someone with so much history still at an event like that.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you for introducing me to so many people while we were there as well. Did you like it? What did you think?
Yeah, I echo that. I love seeing the diversity of our industry. The barber community is just from Gil. You've got these guys that have been cutting hair for 40, 50 years.
Yeah.
Some of them are still doing it. And then you see, all the youth and the movement that's happened here recently, and just how big and how powerful it's become. So it really is a tight community, and you feel that especially at these barber shows, just how they like to connect. It's very social. Like I said, you wore me out just walking with you for a few minutes, man, and I appreciate everything you do.
He wears me out just sitting on
the podcast. Yeah, we're like, oh my god.
So Andrew, you have a kind of a unique journey to get to Wahl Clipper. So you're born and raised in Sterling, but you didn't go from college back to Wahl headquarters in Sterling, Illinois. Can you tell people a little bit about your journey to how you kind of joined the Wahl team?
Sure. Yeah, I can. It's kind of wild when I look back on it now, but had the opportunity after college. Yeah, I was born and raised in Sterling. Went to college in Illinois, so not far away. And then right after college, I had the opportunity to go move overseas, and jumped at it. So in Italy, which, obviously my family heritage is from there. It was supposed to be like a 5-6 month deal. And so I was like, yeah, before the real world starts, I'll go, tour Italy a little bit and have some fun over there, and then come back and start the real world deal.
That sounds good.
Fell in love over there, man. Like,
Wow.
Italy is just a special place, and it's one of those places that I think everybody has some, whether it's the food or the culture or whatever it is, everybody kind of connects with Italy in some way. But it's just one of those places you have to go and kind of see for yourself, because you can talk about it, and just doesn't do it quite the justice. So after about 5-6 months of being over there, decided that was a place I wanted to be for a while. So at the time I just met my wife, so we were kind of dating at that time.
You met her there?
I met her there.
So you literally fell in love.
I literally fell in
so
love.
it was fell in love in
I
love.
literally fell in love. I came back for the U.S. for a couple months, moved back the year after, and I stayed there for 14 years. So
Wow.
married,
So you're
married my then girlfriend, and who's now my wife. We had 3 children, were all born over there. So yeah, I spent a good part of my adulthood overseas, which was awesome. Just an awesome experience. Really opened my eyes to a lot of different things. I never really understood the scope of Wahl Clipper. I mean, I grew up in Sterling, and it was right down the road from the house. I had plenty of relatives and friends that all worked at Wahl, just being from a small community. But I didn't realize how big the scope of business was for Wahl Clipper. The opportunity came in 2013 to open a subsidiary in Italy, and I obviously, being from Sterling, I knew the Wahl family, now the 4th generation that is running the senior management of the company. The opportunity came up and kind of fell into my lap to some degree, and I jumped at it. Like, it was just something I definitely wanted to be a part of. Gave me the opportunity to kind of reconnect with home a little bit, but still live and support my family over there at the same time. Wasn't from the beauty industry at all, so I knew very little about the beauty industry.
What were you doing?
At that time, I started off. The reason I went over there was to play American football in Italy. It was supposed to be a 5-month little experiment.
You used to play football, Andrew?
So yeah, I got a phone call from this guy, and actually called my dad, left a voicemail with him, and said he was looking for players to come over and play American football in Italy. I'm like, are you sure it's not soccer? Like, I've never kicked a soccer ball before, but sure enough, I looked into it, and just that's what got me over there. And it was supposed to be a 5-month deal, ended up being something more long term. But yeah, man, it's just a very unique place. And then from there, my first real job, outside of playing football, and I started helping coach the team for a while there too. But I started working in the food industry, which obviously in Italy, there's the food industry is huge.
Yes.
I was working with a marketing firm that was kind of taking smaller to mid-size manufacturers and opening them to export markets. So I was able to use my English, working in like the UK market, working in Northern Europe, and that was awesome for me too. And again, another kind of, I wasn't from the food industry, but learned a lot about that.
Do you speak
got to travel
English?
quite a bit.
And I know you speak English.
I speak American. I don't speak English. So I don't
Do
know
you
if
speak American and Italian?
Yeah. So at the time, I didn't speak any Italian. How I met my wife, we joke about this now, but we would carry around little books, right? Vocab books, and I would look it up, and just to be able to, like, we could communicate to some degree, but something we didn't know how to communicate. I'd have to look up the book, and so we did that for
she's
a couple
pure
months.
Italian.
She's pure Italian. Yeah. She's born and raised in Parma.
So what's interesting is his story. I don't know if you've ever read the John Gresham book, Playing for Pizza.
No.
He had it at his desk the other day, And I went by. I was like, "Oh, I read that book." And I don't read books, but I read that book.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, "Yeah, like look in the back page," and it's like somewhat written about like. I'm sure you were interviewed for it to understand.
Yeah.
The whole concept is like a American football player goes over to Italy, falls in love, plays football, that stuff. There's more darker parts to it, which are not about Andrew, but I was like, wait, John Gresham's like as famous as it gets for books. Like he writes like two a year, and they're always the number one seller. So
fun fact. That was fun fact about me. That was just one of those things that really John Grisham did all that work. Like I was just coaching and playing for that team at the time, and he decided to write a book about an American guy that was going to play football in Italy. He had just the real story is he had just finished a book. I believe it was called The Broker, and it took place in Italy, in Bologna. And his driver was an ex-American football player, and he was asking him all these questions like about playing football in Italy. And he said, do you get paid? And the guy's like, no, it's just like a hobby. But sometimes the team president, the owner, will take us out for pizza after practice or after the game. So that's where the title "Playing for Pizza" came from. So that was pretty cool. He called up the team. He did come over and spend a couple days. We took him out to eat and showed him around town a little bit. But it's my claim to fame. Still waiting for the movie to come out, because that's where my acting career is going to take off.
That's where it really gets crazy. So what part of Italy did you live in?
I was in Parma, which is it's like an hour south of Milan, so it's kind of north central. All of Italy is great, but it's really known as like the food capital, the food valley of Italy. So your prosciutto ham and your Parmigiano cheese.
I was going to say Parma, like Parmesan.
Yeah. So the cool thing about Italy is they really protect what's theirs. So like Parmigiano has to be made within a certain geographical area. And that's what gives it like the official Parmigiano logo. If it's not made within that area, it won't qualify to get that logo. So they're very protective of wine and their food by the region, because it has to be in the right environment, the right temperature, the right humidity, all that stuff. They're very protective of that. So
that's crazy.
So
14
for me,
years.
growing up on like Kraft Parmesan, that like green cylinder
that's
thing.
Not even real.
The first time I had like real Parmesan cheese, I was like, what? Why did I not have this all my life?
Right.
And, from that day, I've had a block of Parmesan cheese in my fridge at all times.
So you helped start the subsidiary Wahl Italy, and eventually you've made your way here to the U.S. back home as the national director of sales. What was? I don't even know where I'm going with this. Like, what's that like? Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? Because there's a lot of barbers and hairdressers and a lot of artists watching.
Yeah.
What does that even mean? Like what is
the national director of sales?
Yes. So what does that consist
of? What's your role consist of now that you moved to the U.S. and you have the title national director of sales? But to Bert's point, like what does that mean?
What does a bar?
What do you do?
What do you do?
So, I'm really connected with headquarters, and that's really one of the things that I was really drawn to come back. Back home to Sterling. Obviously, family played a part of that. I wanted to be a little bit closer to family, friends that I'd been away from for 14 years. But other than that, I really wanted to connect more with headquarters, where some decisions were getting made about products and about that. So that for me has been an awesome experience over the past 2 years, 3 years now. But it's been a tough time. I came back in July of 2019. COVID, 2020, 2021. We've been through quite a bit over these last 3 years. We've also hired our own sales team. So that was a big initiative that we did early on. I think it was early 2020. We started to hire our own people in the field and get them in the field, connecting to end users. That's really what we're all about is getting as close, drilling down as far as we can to the end users, getting to tap their brains, getting feedback. So I'm leading that team. really from the headquarters, kind of communicating everything that we want and all the initiatives we want out of headquarters as far as strategy, what's coming. Because kind of leading the team from Sterling, love getting out in the field with them when we can. I mean, that's kind of opening up again, so that's fun, getting out and seeing customers, being in live events, which were shut down for a while. Just it killed our whole vibe in the industry. It's just
right.
we feed off of social interaction, and being shut down like that was a tough task, I think, for everyone. Yeah, so. Glad that's behind us. I think we're all better for it at Wahl. Really gave us time to kind of sit down and evaluate ourselves too, right? Like we had time to slow down a little bit and breathe and meet and talk and reconnect a little bit with ourselves. And we're pretty fired up about the future of what's going on. So I really use my experience of starting in Italy. I knew nothing about the industry. So, for me, my first experience opening the office was getting on the old search engine, Google, and, hey, what are some distributors in this area? And I was literally going knocking door to door, just introducing myself, going to talk to barbers, going into salons, and just like getting to know, how they operate and how they think. And I think that's still valuable for me today. Like I think the worst thing I can do is just sit in an office and think I can make a decision from there. We really need to be out talking to the people that are using our tools. And I instruct our the same thing with our sales team. Like that's a big initiative. Don't just collect an order. Like let's get in and dig down and talk to them about what's good and where we can be better, and keep pushing the envelope and getting better and improving.
Love it.
Yeah. So talk about our territory managers, and you're right. Like there's such a diverse group, but it is incredible how like close they're getting to the end user, whether it's understanding the barbers in their territory, their region, getting to their events and to their shows, or walking into their barbershops, but also our distributors too, and just getting closer. I think that's a big initiative for us at Wahl Clipper, is just getting closer to the end user. It's one of our 5 pillars. It's in our Wahl Way triangle is understanding the end user and aligning with them. Can you talk a little bit though about the TMs, about like, they all have, I mean, it's a fun group. I know you've met a lot of them. It's a fun group. It's you get on that WhatsApp group conversation, it gets a little.
I need
crazy.
an invite.
All right.
I was only on the one for like the fantasy football league. I can't imagine what their like normal one is like, but they all bring something really different to the table. Like we don't have 8 robots. I mean, the personalities and their skill sets are very different, but I think it's what makes the team so awesome is because of their skill sets. Do you want to talk about the TMs a little bit?
I don't
more?
want to talk about them too much because their heads.
Yeah, we don't need their egos blowing up.
Yeah, we don't want to go too far down that. But no, they are such a fun group to work with.
All right, that's enough about them.
Good.
Sorry, no, let me stop.
Here are their names. Okay.
They are very self-driven. Like they just all have kind of that personality trait where they just want to achieve. So it's great to have that. Like that's a blessing. They just handle everything with such ease, and it makes my job so much easier. And like I said, it's been a struggle from the time when we made that change. We went through COVID. We went through a lot. Still dealing with supply chain and all that stuff going on, which everybody's going through. But it hasn't been easy to be in a sales role. Not knowing when you're getting product, dealing with customers that are asking you, hey, when am I getting this? When is this launching? It hasn't been easy by any means, but we've gotten pretty close because of it all. We keep things live, fantasy football group, but every day in our chat, they're back and forth with each other. We share a lot of information. We share best practices. Hey, we did this. This worked really well. Maybe it could be useful for you. That type of thing. And we cover a wide spread. We have guys that are more kind of data analytical driven. guys that are new but just have that kind of chip on their shoulder to really, roll up the sleeves and do what's required, and very connected socially, interacting, got their own pages going, trying to grow that. So they just really do everything we ask of them. And, the big thing, like I said, from a sales side, when it's really fun is when we're bringing new product to the market. And they're really excited about, what's coming. We're not going to pull too many things back right now. But
what is coming, Andrew?
Well, now that you ask.
So this will come out around September. So we know 2 items that will be that'll be out around that time. We'll at least have announced them by that time.
Yeah, it's the cat's out of the bag, so to speak, right? We've shown these several months ago. We finally got them to market at the Connecticut Barber Expo. We'll have some here at the show this weekend. The gold magic clips, and they're awesome. Like I get excited talking about it because it's just, it has a really nice look to it. Number one, like it has that look that's really going to attract the barber. I think it fits kind of that mold. The power in these things is noticeable.
Feel it.
So as soon as we felt this at the show, just turning it on, you get that impression, whoa, like it doesn't feel like a magic clip anymore. It's got something more. So we've got a strong, more powerful motor that's a little bit faster as well. The blades is a big deal as well. Not only is it gold and black, but there's some serious benefits from that. Having those coatings that just makes them last longer. It makes them hold an edge a little bit longer, so the sharpness stays longer and they don't get worn out. And they run a little bit cooler. So if you got using the same clipper over and over and the blades get hot, then this tool's gonna help with that, because they're gonna run a little bit cooler. You can use it a little bit longer. So also comes with the charge stand, comes with the premium guards. Like, we threw everything in with this thing, and we're excited about it because the Magic Clip's such a big deal around the world. Every market that we're in,
it's the most popular clipper.
160 different countries that Wahl distributes products in. The Magic Clip is number one, and it really is magic. And this is just kind of that next level,
version.
The upgraded version.
I got a great idea.
Tell me.
What if we did a trimmer that matched it?
Oof, that would be actually awesome if you guys did that.
You think you think we should go down that? Yeah. We probably could do that.
We should just do that.
You know what? Yeah, I think we should get one that matches probably.
Because for me, I would love to have a gold magic clip, but like also a gold trimmer.
Maybe like a detailer ally. That's kind of our go-to.
Could you guys do that?
I think we could do that. I think that could happen.
How about by September?
Oh, now you're pushing it, Aaron.
I know how Wahl works. I didn't say what year.
It's in the works.
Yeah,
it will come. It will come sooner than later. Again, I don't think the cat's not already out of the bag. We've shown that. Last year, we brought that concept kind of to the market. We are ready, getting really close to launching that as well. And
I'm confident, Andrew, by the time this episode airs, that people will know that this exists.
Yes,
so you're
100%.
You're not spoiling anything for anyone.
Awesome.
We will be doing the uploading, so
yes.
Okay.
We'll just adjust.
I'm confident that it'll be available. But yeah, I know just from conversation with you, like, you guys have just been, from the sales team, just been begging for new product to be available. And you've just been antsy because you know what's like in the pipeline, what we've been working on. Yeah. So it's finally here. So it's very exciting for the team.
Yeah, that pipeline gets long sometimes, you know. we want it tomorrow all the time, or yesterday really, but from a sales side, but we get it. Wahl Clipper does it right. And we have 102 years reputation of putting out quality products, and we really stand by that. Like, we want to put out a product that is tested, true, what you're getting. That's really important to what we do at Wahl Clipper. And it does take us longer maybe to get some stuff out, but I would much rather have it that way than put something out that we don't stand by. And we put the Wahl brand on it. We want to make sure that it matches the quality that we've built up over 102 years. It's easy to damage that quickly,
For sure.
and so it's the right thing for us to do to make sure we're putting out the product that you expect when you buy a wall clipper.
Yeah, 100%. Plus, we also have to support 165 countries. So we're not just making it for one market. We got,
This is bigger than the Titanic,
Yeah.
guys.
See,
It's a big ship.
that's the part where I've really learned, right? Like when I was in Italy, I was like, hey, I want the part, just get it here. Why can't we get that product here? And I just never understood. Being back, in Sterling and seeing how big of a scope it is,
It's
makes me realize that.
Well, you know me, I have to, well, not just me, but myself and Aaron have to deal with the community, like
Sure.
asking stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, what about this? Why can't you do this? Why do you do that? So,
Yeah.
and it's nonstop.
Yeah.
It's, if I'm at a show or if it's on social media, we're just getting bombarded, like, pom, pom.
Well, keep it coming. Like
I love it.
you guys,
Keep it coming.
You guys are
for
handling
sure.
also. I don't. No.
Just keep it coming.
Our territory managers are out there doing the same. Our customers, our distributors.
I think the message of it being a large ship is really good, though, because
I got another bright idea.
go ahead.
I'm going to have Andrew take over Instagram for a day. Just so, just so he can answer all the comments and questions from people.
Oh, that could be fun.
That's a job and a half. That's a job and a half. No, I think it is. It's like when you're a barber or hairdresser or someone from the community. Most of the time, you're like, oh, but I have all these great ideas. It could be done so quick. Until you actually get to the headquarters and you're like, well,
Yeah.
if you change this one little thing right here, it would change for all these 160 countries or something.
So yeah, I'm learning that, right? Like, yes, it could be done quickly,
Right.
but quickly doesn't always mean it's done correctly, right? Like it creates a lot more problems for us. So, and again, the quality piece of it is a big part of what slows that down. But since obviously COVID and the supply chain stuff, we have literally hundreds of products, right? We have our professional division, we have our consumer division, we have animal division, and you're talking about all these different components, and we make a lot of stuff. A lot of product is made 100% in Sterling, right? Like we make the plastic molding and the motor, like we make everything there. Other stuff you have to source and try to get it there on time, and when you're trying to do that globally, it's a challenge. And there's stuff going on every week with some part or another part where it's been delayed, and
Right.
So it just sets everything back. So your timeline, you have kind of a timeline that you want to work with, something sets it back, and you kind of just keep pushing everything out. But that's just the way of the times. Like there's nothing to do about it, other than our team is always working on it. We have great relationship with our vendors. Wahl is very people driven. At Wahl Clipper, which I love the culture of relying on people. If you ever get a chance to come out to Sterling, Illinois, and come check out the museum and just get to come in and meet the people who are making your clippers.
I wanted to cry.
It's awesome. Yeah,
I wanted to cry.
Me too. Like I still go through there and I'm like
Just-
inspired all the time at just seeing like the labor that goes into making a clipper. Getting to know the people. I brought the sales guys in early this year. We put them back in the shipping area. They were working with the shipping team.
Wow.
And like just getting to know them. Like it's a big part of Wahl is the family. Not the Wahl family, but really the whole community. Sterling, Illinois is not a big community, but
Not at all.
big portion of the community is supported by Wahl Clipper. I mean, a lot of
Wow.
people work there. It's a very important business to supply jobs to the community. So it's to me it's personal. I know a lot of people that work there. I know how important that company is to the community, and how important that the people are passionate, right, about what they do there. So it's awesome.
Yeah, spot on. I think that's one of the best things about Wahl is that sense of community and like the importance that it has to Sterling, the Sauk Valley. And one of my favorite things is kind of, you just nailed the head on, is one of my favorite things about Wahl, and that it kind of helps inspire me, is anytime that we have a guest barber or stylist come visit Sterling, Illinois. So if I have Bird come, or if A-Rod's come, and I give them like a mini tour, and just to see their eyes just kind of light up, and like you kind of get inspired, like there's a greater purpose on what we're doing. Because sometimes, I mean, I'm sure you can attest to this, sometimes you kind of just get lost in like we need to hit numbers, we need to make we're making clippers, we got to send them out to this distributor, we're going to sell, these are the sales numbers, but then you kind of just forget about like the impact it has on a whole industry. Like this one clipper changes lives. It changes lives. It gets in these people's hands, and like it's their way of life. Bird started with a wall clipper, and look at him now. He's hosting a podcast, and
unbelievable.
He's running companies and doing all this stuff.
Got his own show.
Yeah,
right.
So, I got you on it.
He's got his Rise of Hair show, and
you're coming though.
Yeah, I'll come.
Andrew said he's coming. I just confirmed him.
So it's just like
trying to get me out of Illinois in October. I'll sign me up.
Just to like, we kind of get lost sometimes, and like there's a greater purpose to what we are doing, the impact that we make on people's lives. So anytime I can give someone a tour and have them come to Sterling, like it re-inspires me and reinvigorates like a passion in me as well. So I know, Bird, you've taken a couple tours, and it's pretty funny to watch Bird walk around, because he wants to shake everyone's hand and like know everything that they're doing.
He gets distracted pretty easy too.
Yes,
it doesn't take much for him to
like,
just wander
squirrel
off. Like, hey, Bird, over this way, man.
We need, you know what? We got another good idea.
Oh man, these
ideas. Get him one of those kid leashes through the factory.
Through the factory?
Yeah.
Hey, I got an idea. I would like to bring someone from the factory here to be a part of the podcast.
Absolutely.
Like someone I've never met, someone that works on our clippers, maybe that's been there for years, and just have them come out here so that we can speak to them.
Well,
I think that's
the cool thing about Wahl Clipper. Like, there's a face behind the person making your clipper, right? Like it's awesome. And we could take you to them. Like, you want to come out to Sterling? We'll
do the interview on the line.
Show you who's making your clipper.
Right?
Yeah.
No, they deserve to come here.
Yeah.
Right, straight to the place. Well, because
maybe we'll do it in October.
Right, that would be perfect.
So you got a lot of loyalty at Wahl Clipper. So you've got a lot of employees that have been there for 30 plus years.
Wow.
I can think of 3 off the top of my head that are just in our office, in our professional office, that have been there for some 35 years.
Wow.
So it's awesome, and what they've seen over those 35 years, and how much the company's grown, and all the changes that have happened. It's invaluable to like see it through their eyes and know what they know, right? It's like, the tribal knowledge of Wahl Clipper, that you've got these people that have worked there for so long and just have seen it all. It's really a cool feeling to know that, like you've got that loyalty inside of the company, and that means the culture's good, right? Like
100%.
Somebody's going to stay at a company for that long. There's something good going on. And that's important to us. We talk about it a lot, but we practice it. It's not something that you just put on a triangle and put it up on the wall and say, hey, we got good culture here. You have to practice it, and the Wahl family really takes that at heart. Like they really do take that seriously and make sure employees are empowered and heard.
Yeah, if you need a testament to how good of a place Wahl Clipper is to work, we have 3 people in our department that have been in our department for like 30 years.
Yeah.
And I've been there, it'll be 10 years, July. I think you've been with Wahl for
9
years.
2013,
our graphic designer has been with us for over 15. Like,
yeah.
There's people that have been around for a long time.
I'm there. This is my
Bird's
third.
been with us for 3 years. So
I'm getting there.
It's that family
filling
community.
up that hand, man.
Yeah. I'm gonna be here for a long time.
Bird's
a
in
whole
for
time.
the long haul.
I'm here for
I'm
here
not
for
going anywhere. We'll keep you around for a while.
I'm here. When you'll never notice when I'm aging or whenever I get my grays, because I'm still get my hair colored. But I'll be around.
Well, you're good people, man, and that's important at Wahl Clipper too. Same thing with the territory managers. Like, there's a lot of resumes out there that probably, as far as experience may have been at a different level, but we're really big into like the right fit, fitting that culture and working with humble people that want to represent the brand in the right way. And you certainly fit that mold. Our territory managers certainly fit that. That's a big part of who we are, is making sure we have the right people and the right personalities inside the company.
Well, now that you've seen this industry, how has it opened up your mind and your eyes, and how big it is?
Yeah, the scope of it is awesome. So starting in Italy, I really got exposed to like fashion and trends. Like,
Okay.
My wife, like, number one, like, she never leaves the house unless she's like dressed like perfectly, and I was like going around in shorts, and
Yeah, me too.
everybody's staring at me, and I'm in like sweatpants going out, and so I kind of had to get an understanding of that, and I was exposed to that, so that's cool. And now that I'm back here, seeing obviously that the market is much bigger here, you really have to be sympathetic and empathetic with the professional, right? Like to see through their eyes, through barbers and stylists, the work that, like, it's not an easy profession by any means. And I feel like social media can sometimes display that as though it's easy to become big and famous and make all this money, and it's not easy in this profession. I work shows, and I'm at the end of the day, I'm like standing all day, and I'm tired. I'm like, God, these guys do this every day when they're cutting. Like, they're on their feet all the time, and just trying to time manage and squeeze clients in. And I'm guilty of that too. Texting my barber, hey, you got time for me? So I know what they go through, and I'm really trying to be empathetic and sympathetic for how the lives they live, right? And that's important, I think, for us also to understand, like, how can we help improve their careers by giving them the right tools, right? Like, what tools can make their life easier, that cutting performance, don't have to worry about your clipper breaking down. It's really important.
Right.
And to see how big the market is, how diverse it is, it's a challenge, because that it's a lot to take on, but overall you really have to try to get in the eyes of a barber and stylist and kind of see it through their eyes.
So my last question for you is, what do we have to look forward to from Wahl Professional in the second half of 2022 and maybe early 2023? What's next?
Yeah, so a big initiative for us is really just getting stabilized from a manufacturing standpoint, trying to get supply chain kind of under control, which we're getting there. We're getting our distributors filled again. That's obviously a very important for us to kind of get stable, but at the same time, we've got a lot of stuff coming. So it's starting with the gold magic clip. We've got the gold detailer coming to follow. We've got a lot of other stuff that's going to be hitting end of the year, early next year. It's exciting. Like, we know that new product is important. It's really what is driving business right now. So that's going to be a huge focus of us, of ours, for the rest of this year, going into next year, making sure we keep it fresh, right? Just keep pushing the envelope, continuous improvement for our tools, listening to what the industry's telling us, and reacting on it as fast as we can.
I know what some of this stuff is.
I've seen a few things. I'm excited, though. I can't wait. I cannot wait. Well, we had Andrew here. He has come to the Off the Top podcast, and we really appreciate having you.
Survived.
Yeah.
You have survived.
Well, thank you guys for the invite, man. I really appreciate what you guys do. The more of this stuff, the better for me. Like, I think it's awesome. Again, it's a part of like the community of who we are and what we do in this industry, is just like, having conversation and talking to each other. And so thank you for the invite. This is fun for me. I know I'm not as big as like A-Rod and some of your other guests, my social.
Everyone,
K-pop.
everyone is a major piece to a big puzzle. So we appreciate
my
you.
social profiles are probably lacking compared to some of your other guests.
We'll
but
give you a class.
That's okay. I don't need to be.
You work for
You know,
Wahl. You're at least tied to that.
I'm good behind the scenes. I like.
You
I
know
like
what
following
real
you, Bert.
Parmesan cheese.
That's right. That's right. That's who I'm following.
Yeah.
I'm following like how do
following
We
you
want to
big
go.
Parmas.
You lived in Italy for 14 years. We get it. We want
Yeah.
to do that. We
Yeah.
want to do that type of stuff. But thank you so much for coming. We appreciate you. If you guys are watching on YouTube, make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment down below who we should bring from the Wahl Corporation. If there's any Wahl employees watching, comment down below and let us know if it's you that we should bring out. And to all of our listeners, thank you guys for listening to the podcast. Aaron, any last words?
Looking forward to the next one. This was great.
That's it, guys. See you guys soon. Much love. This is Off the Top. Let's go.
Adios.
Thanks, guys.